Hi guys, Rachel here. Today I wanted to make a super candid video that I did not plan or think of or outline or anything like that. Just talking to you guys about how I feel with everything going on with COVID, and how it's affected our internship. I think I made a video like this earlier and a lot has changed since that video. So just for those of you who matched, for those of you who are going to start your internship in a few months that are just kind of preparing for that, I wanted to make this video. I don't know how helpful it'll be. I don't know how informative it'll be. I just think it's almost maybe even a video for myself to just kind of speak my mind and share with you guys how I feel and some of the things that have happened. So to start off, I think I was very skeptical when all this like COVID-19 started happening. I was kind of hesitant, or like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know how serious this is going to be. I honestly thought it was going to be a thing that was just going to last for like a couple of weeks and then everything was going to go back to normal. And I was so far from the truth, obviously. We were currently in our first week of our food service rotation, which has been by far the number one rotation that I did not want to do. I was nervous and afraid for my clinical rotation just because it just felt really daunting, but my food service rotation was different in the sense of like, I just didn't want to do it. And honestly, I was almost hopeful that I'd be proven wrong and it was actually really fun and I actually really enjoyed it at the end, but I didn't have a chance to do that really. We were there for just 1 week, and that whole week, or I would say half of that week, we were kind of nervous about being there because we were doing our rotation at and when I say we, I mean my internship partner and I, at a like living facility for older adults. So obviously a lot of the residents there are older, and we were just worried that even more than us getting COVID-19, that we'd be carriers and we're unaware for whatever reasons, and we'd be infecting someone else. So my partner and I were kind of worried about that. So we definitely talked to our internship director, and I think she realized by the end of the week that this was going to be more serious than expected. So we were withdrawn from that rotation. I think most people were. I think there were just only 2 girls in our program that actually had to finish their clinical rotation, and they went ahead and did that. And that was basically it. None of us were at any locations, any rotations, any sites. We were just gonna start working from home, and that's what we were all gonna do. Some of the people were already doing it in my program actually by the time that my partner and I started doing the remote work from home thing. So that was kind of that, and it felt a lot better because we felt more safe. We felt like we were being responsible individuals, so that's kind of what we did. So we were given a couple of assignments to work on, and I don't know, like I honestly thought it was gonna last maybe a few weeks even during that, and then things got really, really, really bad really quickly, and I really quickly started realizing that it's probably never gonna go back to normal. I'm probably never gonna go and finish off my other rotations. I had a sustainability rotation, I had a school dining rotation, a renal rotation, nursing rotation, and then I had like a week of electives, and I was never gonna be able to finish those. Oh, and that's still how it stands. I mean, it's April 26th right now, and that's still what it seems like. So we realized that quickly that we probably won't have a graduation, which is in June. And I don't know. I don't know if we will. I have a feeling that we won't, but that's okay. And just seeing everything happening around us, just people not being able to get married. Two of my friends had to cancel their weddings that were happening, within the next 6 months or so. My best friend could not attend, like she didn't have like a graduation ceremony for school, like for college, and obviously like people in like high school and whatever, they don't have graduations or proms or grad bash and all that stuff, and like people are just dropping like flies, honestly. I know people whose family members have died from COVID, and it's just, sometimes it feels like, because it's not affecting you directly in the sense of like someone passing away, it's not as real. But I think that obviously comes from a place of privilege, a place of entitlement, and it's just good to assess the way that we feel and why we feel this way. So that's kind of what's going on. It's been about a month, maybe like 5-6 weeks. Let's say maybe 5 weeks that we've just been working from home so far. And it's been very eye-opening for me, like how I work, how I like to work. Our director has been extremely flexible in the sense of like, she's like, I need you guys to work 8 hours a day. It doesn't matter at what time you guys decide to do those 8 hours, whether you're working like an 8 to 4, a 9 to 5, midday to 8 o'clock, I don't know, midnight to 8 a.m. It doesn't really matter. She just wants us to do the 8 hours per day so we can keep up with our hours. So that's kind of what we've been doing. We've had some flexibility about how, when we work and how long, in a sense, if you want to put in more hours one day, so then the other day you can put in less hours. Or it's nice because if I want to I personally like to go to the grocery store in the morning during the weekdays, so I could do that, or I could sleep in or whatever it is, or talk to my family. We've also had a lot of Zoom calls, and some of them have been helpful, and some of them are kind of like, this could have been an email, but it is nice to see everyone and just to get that like communal, like to meet with everyone, in a sense. And she'll have us do like icebreakers sometimes and be like, oh, like, what's one thing you've been doing, or like tell us about a fact that we didn't know about you, just to kind of like break the ice sometimes. And then we'd have like a class or a speaker would come in, or we talk about assignments that are given, or assignments that are going to be given, and expectations about certain things. So that's kind of what it's been like for us. And let me see what else. We've been given a lot of alternate activities, like assignments. We've done projects through like Wellness Corporate Solutions, through WIC, through other facilities like food banks, stuff like that. So she's been asking around just to see if there's projects for us to work on. We've been doing case studies, whether that's like weight management for adults, weight management for kids, or whatever. And then obviously working on our major case studies. That's something that has to be turned in, obviously, before we finish this program. Which reminds me that the Academy of Dietetics and Nutrition has said that we no longer need 1,200 hours, but 1,000 hours, which is great. It was one of the first things that I said maybe like 6 weeks ago, like the academy needs to decrease the hours because there's just nowhere for us to go, and a lot of us are just doing a lot of maybe even busy work at home. And our directors are working so hard to like find assignments for us and projects for us just to make sure we can like keep up with hours. That I think it's overall putting a strain on everyone, So that's been kind of what's been going on with that. Just trying to stay afloat, So we are in my program well above the 1,000 hours, but our director still wants us to try to finish it off, and we're all allowed to move back home if that's something that we want, and we can just work from home. That's what we've been doing now, but she really wants us to finish so we can get as much experience as we can, whether that's through case study, alternate work, whatever it is. And I think it's also with the hopes that even towards the end of the program, like, things will get better and some of us will still be able to go to those rotations that maybe we couldn't before, whether that's just even for 1 week. I know for me, my partner and I, we were the only ones that had the opportunity to do our pediatric rotations. So that was just a 2-week rotation. So I think it's with the hopes that others will have the chance to do that. So that's kind of what's going on. And, we already paid for the program. Most of us have to, like, our lease won't end till the end of the program. So that's kind of what's going on. We'd have to like break our lease and all that stuff, which I think a few of us are willing to do that. But for now, we're just staying put and just try to focus on that. We've also been discussing resumes. We're going to be finishing off the program in less than a couple months, and we want to make sure that we're ready, that we're prepared. I think soon we're going to get the okay to like really apply for jobs. I know that my director has sent out just job opportunities in the area, and I know some people in my program will be applying for the VA position, and those take a little while to process and for you to actually get the job. So I think that's why she's having them look over it now and maybe even apply, because it won't be for a while that they'll be getting those jobs. So that's kind of what's been going on. We had a class day talking about our resumes, do's and don'ts, about interviews and such. So that was pretty helpful for me personally, and just kind of going through my resume and just figuring out what do I put into my resume, So for sure, I'm planning on making a video about that, because I've already found myself with some questions, some struggles, whether you're applying for a clinical job, a community job, a food service job, whatever it is, like what specifically do you put in there? So that's some of the things that I've been thinking about. And then I think I'm going to be going back home for just to stay home to live, and just kind of gauging like when is it a good time to reach out and actually apply for jobs, being that I'm still here and that I probably will be here for the next couple of weeks, next few weeks, and how willing am I to actually like get a job sooner than expected. Like I would have to like pick up everything and move out and go, and like I could technically do that, but just kind of gauging everything. And I can certainly make another video about that too. Just kind of like decision making, like which jobs, and like I can talk about maybe even some do's and don'ts, some things to think about, whether it is salary and like other benefits and such, but that's for later. But that's kind of what's going on right now. In the next week, we should be getting our materials to start studying for the RD exam, which is another conversation. Just a couple of, maybe even just a week ago actually, or so, they reopened the testing centers. That's what I was told. So everyone that was not able to take it before is given priority to take it now. So they're taking it now. So I heard it's gonna be a while until everyone else that's been wanting to take it can. So I don't know, I don't have any idea as to exactly, even if I could take it today, like how far out would I be scheduled to take it, just because of everything going on and everybody having to wait and just kind of everything that's happening in the world. So that's kind of what's going on. I don't know how I feel, to be honest, y'all. Like, this is not what I expected my internship to end at. I had a great experience. I've had a great experience so far. I've met a lot of great people, but I certainly thought that I would do so many more things, finishing off. And like, in a way, I am glad that I almost didn't do my food service and school dining rotation, because I was kind of nervous about that. But it's certainly something that I wish I had the opportunity to just learn, because even if I would have loved my time there, I would have maybe felt more prepared. So I'm definitely very grateful that I finished all my clinical rotations and that I'm working on my major case study, and that's something that I'll certainly be able to present. But definitely wishing I had done my renal rotation, my nursing rotation, just so like I was more prepared for the kidney dialysis long-term care side of clinical. But it's certainly something that I can learn. And also something else that I've been like wanting to talk about is like how flexible are dietitians going to be now, employers going to be now, with everything going on and the expectation that obviously some of us couldn't have gotten all the experience that we could. And when is it, when is it smart enough, when is it wise enough for someone to just stop their internship because they have the 1,000 hours already? Or should they keep on going? I mean, I know we could all technically stop and it would all be fine, but thinking about that and everything that you'll be missing out on, but then again, it's literally no one's fault. So just like thinking about those things, it can be a little overwhelming. I feel for the next incoming class, but at the same time, I think that this time has given the directors of programs and even others that partake in the program, not even as directors, but just like preceptors and just people that run these programs, a chance to like test run things that could actually be done at home. Not everything, you don't need to go to a rotation for everything. I remember clearly times where thinking like I could be doing this from home, so just thinking about that, even employers, employees, like thinking like, wow, like maybe this person doesn't have to come in every day, and maybe that'll be good for interns. Maybe that'll have an impact on interns, maybe preceptors, or I don't know, sites will transition more into like a electronic or I don't know, like a Zoom type thing. I don't know. I have no idea. This has just honestly been a test run for everyone, and I think by the time that August rolls around, or September, whenever you guys start your internships, then maybe things will be better. Hopefully, that's our hope. But then also, if it does mean that, because I know that the 1,000-hour thing is going to apply for the next class also, maybe it means that, they're going to have a better hold of things and how to run things. But this was a big video of just like speaking out my mind and just kind of telling you guys how things have been. And just, I've definitely learned that I enjoy driving, apparently. Who knew? I drove so much during my undergraduate years, like going to school and going back home for the weekends, and then just here in the DMV area, just driving all around just for different rotations. I've driven so much, and then when I do go to the grocery stores, now I'm like, wow, like I love driving. This is truly a blessing to be able to just go wherever you want, whenever you want. How naive we were when we would go out on weekends and have fun and do things and have plans, and like today is my niece's birthday, and we had to I was supposed to be home this weekend, and we just had to do everything through Zoom because there's just, none of us can really be there. A few of us actually were gonna fly out there for her birthday. So it's definitely made me realize just my strength and weaknesses of working from home, just the things that I am so much more grateful for, and the ability and privilege that I have to not have to worry so much about where my next meal is going to come from, and all those types of things that we take for granted every day, because we almost think that we're entitled to these things until your health is taken away and you realize like, whoa, like I'm just a piece of nothing really in this world. And it sounds really bad, but that's honestly what I feel like a lot of people have realized. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I don't know if this was helpful or not. I definitely feel more at peace at work. I mean, at home, working, and I'm definitely learning. It's not like I'm not learning, but it's definitely very different and just an adjustment to us going into our rotations and doing work and doing what's expected of us and having to tailor some of those projects and some of those expectations because they just can't be met. They just cannot be met just through online. And just how everyone I've realized a lot more people have done free webinars. We attended like DC Manned through Zoom. We're gonna attend another meeting through Zoom, and just so many of the things that have transitioned online, and in that you can still be part of a great community, and just so many people that have united to like still teach interns and just through everything. And it's just been great. And yeah, it's been great. I hope that the next pandemic we get is a pandemic of love, where we appreciate the people around us more. And I hope that we all remember that when all of this was happening, what we needed was teachers, we needed doctors, we needed nurses, we needed people to clean up places, we needed people to work at the grocery stores. We didn't need actors or what's it called, professional like athletes. We didn't need any of that stuff. That stuff is just for entertainment. And even though I really appreciate all those things, just kind of prioritizing it and really realizing what was important. But yeah, let's just be thankful that we are healthy. And for those of you who have families that have been affected, then I just hope that through this process you feel peace. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but that we become more grateful for what we have, that we don't wait for these types of moments to come for us to feel like we want to spend time with our families or love the people around us or do the things that we actually care for. A lot of us are just running around because that's what we gotta do, but I think this time has given us also a break from all the things that we have to do, and it's given us also time to, you know, focus on the things that we actually care about. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this ends soon. So yeah, I'm ready for it to be over. So thanks for watching. Bye.